Abusnia Moson Professor Sagani, and I see a share more Omagana Bako channel, so OGB for short. The best say, and then Edi Kaya Uti and I said, oh, share near. What our hit the subscribe button so MINE. Now share video, so follow my Ghana Bako via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Or my pan on show, and then check. And that, yeah. Title of another topic I ever discuss it with first channel so a secret formula. Now we onimdiphobia or no free Singapore memo. Now send ye Ghana for they be a babu eka yensem anayabakwasem ebinum edi blame grandma kwame nkroma say abrofo no mba ye no Britain abrofo no omu tama yeji independence no omu ja kwame nkroma sika chichiride na wentimi amfa nyahwe abusuya or maybe they be out on sa. Ebe show them if no put two blames on your ancestors and now say on your past. No, they say when you're ready, say over thinking about your future. Now say over sat without you. Maybe Gamma Catching say disability is a mindset. If we are see your case will be the demo, will be the demo, you'll be the demo. America, as I see so, you were in the front for me, US federal government. Yeah, when you friend with Steve Wonder or Tonyum are very popular, well known in the whole wide world. Or some for be a friend of Pastor Nick or Australia, or you're very famous. Only nine uninsa. Every day the video be extra one now about you will be out on what America has here. Only inside answer or driving license or driver in the street. Ghana, people who are physically deformed, almost sisika. And then people who don't have any physical deformity, no, almost sisika. And to one shadow will say, maybe na high news a day, Abusia, Mamma, you don't answer. OGB is seeking to unite all Ghanaians both and abroad. And we are calling for all Ghanaians. Say, Nimdebia one bra, nay, na yam famwa. Abusia, or in before you be training, or was secret from the be a friend. MPH. And Tiahuasam and the net person in Oka. Singapore, who was somebody Rebecca. Omo your mother to Puabi. Yeah, Omuji Omo independence. Time a dependent now from Bear Republic. 9th August 1965. Sabra Ghana, Aji independence. 6 March 1957. So more than 10 years down the lane. And Singapore, a first world country. Ghana, near one year. See, Uncle IMF, Hepic and Yebeko. Borrowing. Na yabe omani. Abatu ayebeto. Abayebeko abayebeba. Ebusia. Mudi amuma yantu yebo asade yentie onimdifo yi ensem ya okai eye. Nyansa sembi omwa eno na OGB preaching no. This is what OGB comes in ebusia. Intimacy say obenya abaso no watie de onimdifo ya bekai. Na ansa na be wotie onimdifo no message was the flyer the air to your friend says Chris now put out the flyer. On the 23rd of this month in wow. Ye ba be ye fan receipt flyer and that's we wada roma. Eduru wano na was wa ba na ba abeboa. Mama yango video imra. Thank you very much.
So, I was born in Singapore on 24th October 1948. So I guess I've lived in Singapore almost 70 years now. When I grew up, Singapore was still a poor developing country. Our per capita income when we became independent was $500, the same as Ghana in Africa. Either you can say the misfortune or the good fortune of being born in a very poor family in a poor Singapore. So when I was 6 years old, when I went to school for the first day, we were weighed at school. They wanted to see how heavy we were. And I was declared undernourished. So I was put in a special feeding program when I went to school, and the principal had a big pail of milk. And all the children who were underweight were asked to take 1 scoop of milk from the pail of milk. And our house in Singapore had no flush toilet. There was crime and riots, gangster fights in my neighborhood. So in a sense, I grew up in what you call a typical third world environment. And it's quite remarkable that in my lifetime, Singapore has gone from being a third world country to a first world country. And I have lived through this remarkable transformation. I was Dean of the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy for 13 years, from 2004 to 2017. And I would give every student who came to the Lee Kuan Yew school, the same lecture, I said, I'm going to share with you the secret of Singapore's success free of charge. And I to tell the students that if you implement this secret formula, your country will succeed. And I capture the secret formula with the acronym in English, MPH. The M stands for meritocracy. Meritocracy means that you select the best people to run the country. And what brings many countries down, especially in the third world, is that when it comes to selecting the finance minister or the economics minister, they will give their jobs to their brothers, their cousins, their uncles, their relatives, and not to the best people. And Singapore did the exact opposite. In Singapore, the jobs were given to the best people. And in the case of the Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, when he went to study in Cambridge University, he was the top student in the class, if not in the university. In fact, his professors were so impressed, they said, you should become a mathematician because you'll become a world-class mathematician. Then he went to study in another great university, the Harvard Kennedy School. And in that university, he's one of the few students to get an article published in a Tier 1 economics journal. Very few students get articles published in a Tier 1 economics journal. So he's incredibly brilliant. And so if the best man of the job is Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's son, then he should be selected. Not on the basis of the fact that he's a relative, but on the basis that he's the best person for the job. So meritocracy is the first pillar of Singapore's secret formula. The second pillar is P, and P stands for pragmatism. Pragmatism is an English word, and it's an English concept. But the best definition of pragmatism was given by China's leader, Mr. Deng Xiaoping, when he said it doesn't matter whether a cat is black or a cat is white. If the cat catches mice, it is a good cat. So in the same way, it doesn't matter what your ideology is. If it works, you use it. So Singapore was very pragmatic. So it would take some policies that are capitalist and some policies that are socialist, and it would mix them up. And that's what pragmatism is about. You're not bound by any ideology. But the third pillar, the H, is of course the hardest to achieve, because H stands for honesty. And indeed, what has brought most third world countries down and what has led to their failures in development has been corruption. And so Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, after he became Prime Minister, made it a point to punish not the junior people, but the very senior people. So when a deputy minister went on holiday with his friend, a businessman, when he came back, he was arrested. And so he said, why am I being arrested? He says, you went on a holiday with the businessman, he paid all your expenses, that's corruption. You go to jail. So when a deputy minister is sent to jail, then everybody says, oops, I got to be careful, I can also go to jail. So that honesty factor is one critical reason why Singapore has been exceptionally successful. So it's a combination of meritocracy, pragmatism and honesty. Then that's the formula for Singapore's success.
Okay, I will say your woman welcome back. Musom Francis Kamasabe, the OGB first channel. Senator say, and Nebutainti, I did a show video it just for educational purposes. If you say OGB are for civic education, especially Ghana for your diaspora, not Ghana, it is over. Abusia, Ghana will fail if you sit on the fence. Ghana will fail if we refuse to do nothing about what our current situation. If we all decide to talk and don't make any action or make any effort, and we are saying, and never be a because of people choosing decisions that will make here. One casa baby went through a brabomono, and never be decisions be why they will take you and I'm going to be your drone. Now, so you as an individual, what to my side there, you can imagine, say, if you put like 10 people or 100 people, or when you're with the same purpose or with your focus, they can change things around in the whole country. Rome was not built in one day. Ebusia, Oma Yensan every video, your friend is saying, Yentia video munsem. And Yama Yensa, and I'm pressing me breaking it down, na me the reaction up here. Or no, you saw 3, your friends say acronyms. Meritocracy, pragmatism, and then honesty. Nima Yensan, or try meritocracy demo. Yekrum, and penning for obedi yeso majority of them. Yes, I almost say I was within the power obegina tum and abegina. But pepe in one more yana or maybe our more a man. They are not people, they are born with silver spoons in their mouth. Like people who come from opulent homes or more free if you be woman. Ye chromosanity, the simple answer is no. Yen shall be to say Barack Obama. Obama papa, Ufri Kenya, and Oba additional ewo United States. A bra Oba in America, racism, it was its highest peak here. Obibini wu nya baby abrofo krawo. Ba se krano na e before any abrofo obi antena separately. I saw them in our before to one side, abrofo to one side. And yet, apparently to me broni e ware. Now, any broni o ware wasa na meka na mum. Omo wa abofra no tipo ni na emu eventually obey the first black your friend say president in the United States of America. Even though I am miss, I am a broni papa tuntum. Nanso tuntum on one day, tuntum bia tuntum. Point number 2. America say when you pay owa, one more call money ma why any mabia. Uri be a woman any woman free. If you ever come and crying yet to pick example. And Crawford will come and come crew. I don't know if you have a video on come and come. Can you find 2 an area will come and come my one? And never when everything was ugly. And yet, ye people be able to quench your mind. It took Osadebo to come and come to lead Ghana to its first independent in the sub-Saharan Africa. Ebusana Kenya say, o may be a young penny for the Kunyan into me primo or bet my boy Marcos. A pempi, omuntai and free baby so nami papa MPV nam papa. Look, all this is no near my enemy at the Asre. A near my yase, you been mounted on what Asian platitudes. And to what you have was say, a will be a sebio. What the technical know how say nipple or one square peg in a round hole. Well, no. And I was saying that you didn't a teacher of mine. This is OGB philosophy. And that is what OGB is calling for. Say Ghana for you name some woman in Dia. Send him one. And Kawuna would be BP at your poor man. You are the one we are calling for. Yes, you are the one. 2. Obi away pragmatic. Just obi away. I mean hard working. Tie or use one analogy. What the worker and the example was say. Worker so what to me see a kuram there. It doesn't matter. Once it can, so life is all about resource. People that has the technical ability and they know how to produce results. And yeah, all more to social media about Wayampia. In fact, one more Mukasa they cannot produce anything. And we are saying, Obi Okasa be a winning hootie. When was the last time this Ezuma Nelson? I bet not social media bragging. But this man, this Ezuma Nelson man, now put up his picture, was a guy who take Ghana to the world. The record away, Ghanaian box of the anywho. If you say DK poison, no, I quote a bazooka, no, Cloteno. Oh, man, of course, you can talk about Bukom back when I eat powers, but I'm only local champions. Anyway, I'm not against them, almost don't bet my end on my end. These are people, or my G, but I asked where even, now let me say one more thing. I bet you, I like you, a hot no, sir. So go run and say, no woman, any one. Or penny be the cool of a funny bubble and a man scholarship. What they call your friends say high school and a secondary school by then. And no, and the 1980s, no baby, yeah, Kobo and your friends say African Cup of Nations. I collect it to a koi. I Ghana Ecoji. I was here, I made the belly. Record make here Ghana play the end to make that record. No, I give up. So what to match African person 3 times. I don't think so. First of all, Ghana need that I stand to be corrected. Now, and Tipapia some can say, and Nipa where hard work and a woman feel say, or pepper, one in dear or no, and yammy me, and yammy mammy, and yammy papa, because I know not Bronica Samuel Casa, Nipatism. Just say what they Nipa or mobile. na anytime bia be say opani bia ba oye nyama etesa no sa opani to say oye ade a agenda is menya me fie yi. A brain back can say a good leader is a leader who uses the power that they've been given to serve its own people. Until the be a servant, let the be our own servant and crop. It's not a good leader. Case closed. I'm not here to do any politics because OGB is not political. Finally, honesty. Because honesty, no credit, no can. No credit will be a. So what does it come to them now? I can't pray. One and one some pay a kai. So this 3 key things, and it reached your mind. This is OGB philosophy. This is what OGB is calling you, who is listening to us or watching us right now. Say, what to say? OGB does not belong to me talking here. OGB does not belong to anything. It belongs to all Ghanaians. It is organizational. Yes, all Ghanaians say it's only when we come together and I bet me as a sanima, a woman. Crofobekasa, a Bible, it's never going to fix anything. 65 years and we are still counting. Say, ya, say, I am a fool. He pick your sanko bio. Now, it is getting big. Say, my is equal Ghana. No. She said, go for a demonstration effort. Do you want to sit down and see Ghana because Anna? 7 person but necessary and the your website so www.omaganabackman.org. Ko register na donate. I bet join organization to say. Put up the flyer again. You fly here that screen so don't money pa on the 23rd of this month here. But we whatever the time and everything because of time zones in Intino. America here 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern time. Other first time zones so different into converted time no. Let's say nyame yadoma ye share ma GBB. OGB members na say from e bi no. One moment my money bi no o ma create niema. Adem create say your friend say automated rotary bed. I know the ebetima prevent your friend say nkola wia obi ko wo ase ne ba ye wia ya sesa no amane yi no. E dey abofo ne be hye video your friend say ade ne mu machine mu. Nti wo ko say wo kwa bi na e be record wo. Nti wo ntimi anya say ade. 2 ye wo abofra ne say ade e wo no say John Jason no ade no. Ye wo UV light here and also air technology dey wura mu. Look, ade we say we ne say the okata me sewa on the 23rd of this month no. And ye be get to boa no. Friday so be say it means ya obetima faso na wo dey ayede aye enema and now what send you sika say ebre no ntimi ema you can do that or you can call ewo aha na number say wo fly so no na penifo ni wakasa na so wetima your donation odoma kwan on shout say obeye sade amaye yo sabe dem so France ka medum besia di Omagana chi ewo Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter. Follow your website is www.omaganabackman.org. Thank you very much.